Hey everybody. Today we're going to have a look at my brackish tank, and we're actually going to do some work on the brackish tank, or we're actually going to prepare to do some work on the brackish tank to be more accurate. But I actually want to talk about the product we're going to use today. I saw a video not long ago where somebody used a product to treat for the red slime cyanobacteria. Now, it wasn't the same product that I use, but it's the same basic stuff, I'm guessing. It's the same process. You set it up the same way. You use it the same way. So I'm guessing it's the same biological ingredients that are designed to kill off this cyanobacteria. And one of the very, very important aspects of this stuff is that it needs a lot of oxygen. It actually oxygenates and kills the bacteria. So that's the purpose of this giant air stone I've got in the tank. Now, the video I watched the other day was by somebody who was doing this product review, and they had never tried it. And, a couple minutes into this, video, I'm beginning to think this guy sounds more like a cheerleader than he does someone who's actually using this product and reviewing it. This is before he'd even used it. So as the video continued, he failed to mention the air stone. He actually poured the medication directly in the tank rather than pre-mixing it. He just did all these things that were really wrong that can actually result in the death of your animals. And so while I don't do product reviews and I don't really do how-to videos like that scare me. I don't want to see somebody's animals die because somebody's doing some half-ass review video and they're leaving out giant pieces of important information. Now, later on in the video, we discover that the company had sent him this product for free and asked him to try it and review it for them on one of his YouTube videos. Now, that is something in itself that just concerns me. I've seen many cases, and I've even talked to people who said they do indeed feel obligated when they're given free stuff to kind of be nice about it, or frankly, some people just want to keep getting free stuff from that company, so they're not going to say anything bad about them. So I do not do product reviews as a rule. I don't do how-to videos. I don't really talk about brand names. I'm just not interested in that kind of stuff. I'm fully self-supported. I'm fan-funded. I don't do anything involving anybody that's sponsorship or anything else. So today's video is going to be my experience with these products, and I want to go show you over at my testing station how we prepare the medication before we put it in the tank, and I'll show you what kind of medication I use, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how to actually apply it to the tank and talk a little more about how it works and what's going on in the tank. So sit tight, we'll go on over to the testing station. I'll see you in a moment. Alright, here we are. I didn't really feel like the head cam was necessary over here. This isn't going to be a lengthy video, and I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot. I just want to show you the actual product. This is the box that it comes in. It is the Ultralife product that I use, and this is for the red slime. Now, every time I've seen the red slime, it always talks about it as a reef product, and he even mentioned that in his video. Apparently he questioned the person, and they said that cyanobacteria is basically so similar that the red slime works for the green slime, because the green slime is what he actually had in his tank, not the red slime. So that's what he was told. He used this stuff, a different brand, but same stuff for the red slime, and he said it took care of his green slime. I don't know. I use the Ultralife blue-green treatment for that in my tanks. They do make it for both. So if I'm treating for the green, I use the product designed for the green, and if I'm treating for the red, I use the product for the red. Now, in my experience, I also believe that the red slime only develops in saltwater environments. I've never seen it in one of my freshwater tanks, and I've never seen it sold for a freshwater tank. It's always sold for reef. I had it in my marine tank when I had a marine tank, and I have it in my brackish tank. So I think the red slime has a salt need. And that's all I'll really say about that. But they do make a product for the green specifically and for the red specifically. This is the product itself. It just comes in a little container. I don't need to open it up. The green slime is not the same color, but it's the same basic thing. You'll get a little jar. The instructions come on the jar. They're written fairly oddly. It says mix thoroughly, 1 teaspoon or 1 level scoop for each 15 gallons of aquarium water. So that being a 20-gallon aquarium, I use 1 big well-rounded scoop, and I simply mix it up in some aquarium water. Another thing that's very important, this guy in his video just poured the product directly in the tank. always mix it up. No matter what you're mixing into your water, always mix it up in some aquarium water to dilute it, so when you pour it in, it's already in solution and flows and mixes evenly with the water. You don't want granules or particulates falling through the water column. You don't want fish picking them up and eating them and thinking that they're bits of food or whatever. So let's go back over to the tank and we will pour this in, and I'll show you what it looks like going in the tank. It turns the water really yellow and funny looking for a little while, but within an hour or two the tank will be crystal clear again and we will begin seeing the stuff die, although that won't be in this video. So sit tight and we'll be back at the tank in a moment. Alright everybody, once again I did not feel that the head cam would have been a good camera to use in this situation. I don't think you would get the proper view with me looking down into the tank, so I can only do this once I've poured it. It's poured and I can't add more to the tank, so this is going to be one take, and if I screw it up that's just going to be too bad for me, I suppose. So let me try to pour this in while holding the camera steady, and you'll see what I mean about it being yellow. It definitely has a very odd sort of look as it goes in the tank, and it's almost sort of nerve-wracking to watch your fish swimming around in this bright yellow sort of soup. But as I said, and I always take a little bit of tank water back into the jug, you know, give it that final swirl and really get the last little bit of there out of there. So that's it as far as applying the treatment goes. And I know it's kind of hard to tell that water looks yellow because of all the green that was already in there, but it is, and it looks really, really funny to me. Won't bother the fish a bit. I've done this before, and that's the reason I'm doing it now. I did it about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, and it did a really good job. I thought I got everything, but it is coming back, and I wanted to make sure that before it came back in force and really reestablished itself, I went ahead and gave it another dose. I have done a big water change in between the last dose and this dose. Again, it's been over, you know, almost 2 weeks maybe since my previous dose. So there's no issue with overstressing the tank or doing too frequently water changes or anything like that. But it is very, very important. I will note again, you have to have an air stone, and the bigger the better. You really, really want a lot of turnover. You want a lot of surface agitation. You want just as much air as you can get in the tank when you're using this treatment. It's not like a poison or a toxin that actually kills the bacteria. It is something to do with oxygenation, and it somehow oxidizes the bacteria and kills it. And we know that the cyanobacteria tend to thrive in low oxygen environments. So I would imagine it's very similar to when you apply hydrogen peroxide to bacteria. It oxidizes it and kills it the same way bleach is an oxidizer. So this is probably some sort of marine safe oxidizer or something. Again, don't quote me on this. This is just off the top of my head. But it does say on the product itself that it uses a ton of oxygen in the process, and it's very important to add an air stone, and the bigger the better. Again, I did try treatment with this one time, and I did not put an air stone in. I thought since I had 2 filters running, that would be enough oxygenation. And first of all, I did not get a good treatment. It didn't really do a ton to the cyanobacteria. A lot of it survived the treatment. And I also lost a goby, and I didn't do an autopsy, so I can't say that oxygen deprivation was the cause of death. But I did lose a fish, and that's the only time I've ever had an issue using this product where I've ever lost a fish, was the one time I did not put an air stone in it. I even let the water in the tank down about 2 inches, so I had quite a bit of waterfall type effect off of both filters, and it still did not put enough oxygen in the tank to do a full treatment, and I lost a fish. So I can't stress enough, the air stone is a critical step in this process. We give it 2 days, and then we're going to get in there and we're going to do a vac and try to clean as much of the dead debris out as we can, and we'll do a nice water change to get the medication out of the tank. I may even run a little bit of carbon in the tank for a few days. We can discuss that later. I am still working my way up to doing a video where I talk about different additives and carbon and zeolite and those sorts of things that I do not typically use. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to somebody to use this product properly and safely in your aquarium. And again, I want to stress that this is in no way influenced by anybody other than my own experience and my own opinion. Again, I am fan funded. I don't talk about it much, but you know, I do have to pay for all of these tests and chemicals and reagents and all this stuff I buy and use to do all these videos, not to mention the tremendous amount of time and effort I put into my videos, is all paid for by me. So I do have a support button on my channel. If you have a few extra dollars and you ever feel like you want to help me out in getting all this stuff done, you are welcome to go ahead and hit that support button. Otherwise, there is certainly no obligation. I will continue to bring you my videos free of charge for as long as I possibly can. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it was helpful. If you're not already subscribed, the very least you can do is that. That way you won't miss any videos coming up. And I'll see you real soon on the next one.